For this video, we're going to be condensing and expanding logarithm. For the first part, we're going to be condensing a logarithm. When you think of the word condense, we're thinking about making something smaller or something big into something a little bit smaller. So that's how I like to think about when we're condensing a logarithm. A question like this question here says condense each expression to a single logarithm. So we're just taking this right here, this whole logarithm, into combining to one single logarithm using these properties to the right of the screen that I just put here. Okay, and as I solve through these problems, I'll be identifying which rule we're gonna be using. Okay. So for question 1, we have 2 times log base 2 of 7 plus log base 2 of 3 over 2. So for this thing, the rule we're going to be using is going to be the power rule. This one right here. So for this one, we're actually in this right here, 2 times log base 2 of 7 is actually written in here. What we could do is that we could go backwards by taking this, the number in front of the log, and turn it into the power. Okay, like we're going backwards right here into this part. So let's do it. Let's take 2 and put it where 7 is. So it's gonna be log base 2 of 7 squared. Okay, and plus. Okay, don't forget about that. Okay, for this part, I often see my classmate often like when they see this fraction, they think like, how do I get rid of it, or do I just leave it? But basically this fraction is just 1 over 2. Okay, so of course using the power rule. Okay, this is in front of the log. Okay, so or you can think this is as 1/2 times log base 2 of 3. So when you multiply 1/2 to log base 2 of 3, it becomes log base 2 of 3 over 2. You see how it resembles it? Okay, so this over 2 is just 1/2. Okay, so let me just erase this for more space. So we write log base 2 of 3 1/2. Okay, now when we get here, we have this plus right here, and this plus is going to be the product rule. Okay, as you can see right here, we have log base a of x plus log base a of y. We're going backwards and making them multiply. Okay, so let's keep this. Okay, log base 2. Okay, and let's put them in parentheses. So we have 7 squared times, okay, when we have this 3 to the power of 1/2, it's just basically root 3. Okay, so when you look at this 1/2, think of this as the root. Okay, and think of this whatever is being squared. Okay, or the power. Okay, so this is just basically root 2 over 3 to the first power, but we don't need to put that one there because 3 to the first power is just 3. So this is just going to be root 3, and here is our answer to question 1. For this next question, we have log base 7 of u plus log base 7 of v plus 6 times log base 7 of w. Okay, so what I like to do is to work at each log one by one, or if you could do it, if you want to be quicker, you can work at them at the same time in your head. But for this purpose of the video, I'm just gonna work with them one by one. So for this log base 7 of u plus log base 7 of u plus v plus 6. Okay, so let's use the power rule for this. Power rule. We're taking this 6 and put it where w is. So let's rewrite everything. Log base 7 of u plus log base 7 of v plus log base 7 of w to the 6th power. Okay, and when you look at this, they're all being added, so that is basically just a product rule. Okay, where we're just multiplying all of them. So let's do that. Log base 7. Okay, we keep that, and then let's just take whatever these are equal to, u, v, and w to 6, because they're being multiplied by the product rule. U times v times w to 6, and this is our answer for question 2. For this next question, we have log base 4 of a plus log base 4 of b plus 2 times log base 4 of c. So pretty much the same as question 2. So let's just bring this to using the power rule and put it where C is. So log base 4 of A plus log base 4 of B plus log base 4 of C squared. And then we're just going to use the product rule and make them all multiply to each other. So let's rewrite log base 4 times A times B times C squared. And this is our answer for question 3. For this problem, we have log base 7 of 5 plus log base 7 of 2 over 2 plus log base 7 of 3 over 2. So this is basically similar to question 1 where we had log base 7 of 3 or over 2. I forgot what is it. Whatever. So let's just work on this. So log base 7 of 5, let's just rewrite that. We're not gonna mess with that yet. So for this one, we're just gonna bring this over 2 to the 2 using the power rule plus log base 7 of 2 to the 1/2, because this is basically just 1/2 right here. Plus we can do the same with that, log base 7 of 3 to the 1/2. Okay, now we can just use the product rule to combine all of these logarithms into a single logarithm. Let's rewrite log base 7. Now we have 5 times, so these are just going to be root 2 and root 3, so we just put them all together as 2 times 3. Okay, now let's simplify that. So 2 times 3 is 6, so log base 7 of 5 times root 6, and this is going to be our answer for question 4. For question 5, we have 16 times log base of 9 of x minus 4 times log base 9 of y. Okay, so we're gonna use the power rule to bring this 16 to the x. Okay, so log base 9 of x to the 16th power, and the same to this 4 minus log base 9 of y to the 4th power. Now this is being subtracted, so when we look at this rule, we're gonna use the quotient rule. Okay, we're going backwards. We have this subtracting, and we're gonna doing it dividing. Okay, so let's turn this whole logarithm to single one, log base 9 of x to the 16th power divided by y to the 4th. Okay, so if you're a little bit confused, we have this. Okay, because when you think of this, when you do exponent rules, okay, or exponent properties, let me give you an example of why we do this. Example, so if we have x to the 6th power or x to the 2nd times y to the 4th, when we have this, the exponent rule, the quotient rule states that we can subtract these two exponents. So this is just basically x to the 6th minus 2. Okay, we're subtracting its exponent equals x to the 4th. So the simplified form of this would just be x to the 4th over y to the 4th, and we can't simplify y to the 4th because there's nothing up here in the numerator. So this is how I memorize the logarithm properties. If I think of the product rule, I know that I'm adding its exponent if it has the same base. Okay, like x squared times x to the 4th, that's just gonna be x to the 6th, where I'm adding its exponent. When I think of the quotient rule, I think of subtracting. Okay, so that's just a little thing that I keep in my mind when I'm dealing with these kind of problem, when I'm condensing using these problems. So like I don't have to look at this property sheet, but it's there to see how it works.